Hey, Will, how you doing? I think my mic's working. Hey, Will, how you doing? Alright. Where we left off at chapter 4. After the execution of alter ego. Ding dong, bing bong.
This is a school announcement. It is now 10 p.m. As such, it is officially nighttime. Soon the doors to the dining hall will be locked, and entry at that point is strictly prohibited. Okay then. Sweet dreams, everyone. Good night. Sleep tight. Don't let the bed bugs bite.
Nighttime descended and pulled me down along with it, down into a sleep. I couldn't remember the last time I've fallen into such a deep sleep. But the night still wasn't over for me. A voice. I could hear a voice. Wake up. Wake up. Huh? The voice dragged me from the deep slumber into a hazy half-unconsciousness. My eyelids were like lead. Kyoko?
Yes, it's me.
Kyoko?
Kyoko?
I said yes.
So Kyoko's here. Wait, what?
In a flash, I was wide awake. What are you doing here? I'm here to wake you up. Oh, I see. Wait, but my door, it was unlocked. You're unbelievable, careless. It was unlocked? Are you serious? Always. And you don't have to overact like that every time you're surprised. What time is it? 3 o'clock
Correct.
in the morning, of course. 3 a.m.? Why was Kyoko waking me up at this hour? Let's find out why she... Hello, Kyoko. How you doing? We're just talking to Kyoko. That's just button. How you doing tonight? You doing okay? It's so late. What happened? I have a favor I need to ask you. A favor? What kind of favor? What's your favor? Remember what Sakura said at the end of her note? I'm not going to just lay down and die. I will fight you. I want to find out what she meant by that. Okay, but how do you plan to do that? Then Kyoko put her lips next to my ear and whisper. The data center on the 4th floor. What? I'll meet you there.
Goodbye.
Without another word, she was gone. What the? Her words reverberated through my half-dazed head. The data center? But I thought it was locked. So we were going to leave and go to the dock. Back. Yeah, it started. Yeah, it always starts. I made my way into the after-hour school and headed for the data center on the 4th floor. Eventually, I wound up at the data center, but when I arrived, Kyoko's not here. That's weird. She said she'll meet me. Is she maybe inside already? I put my hand on the door, and with a certain amount of force, rattle, 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 it didn't open. I tried again, but rattle, 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 it must be locked. What was it Kyoko said? The data center? on the 4th floor. Whoa, whoa, whoa!
What's this?
Oh ho! What are you doing, mister? Gah! Breaking into a locked room is incredible and prohibited, don't you know? Oh well, you're trying to tell me you didn't actually bust in yet, right? But I can see that you don't. Don't waste my time telling me crap I can see for myself. It looked like you might break in any second, so I thought I'd give you a friendly reminder. Are you gonna try and tell me you were sleepwalking or something? No, nothing like that. It's 3 o'clock in the morning, for crying out loud. Even I get tired, you know. Stop being weird and go back to bed. What's wrong now? Why are you out here making a racket? Kyoko. Now you two?
You too?
Whatever, you two, just get back to bed. I'm positively exhausted from the class trial. Sure, you got it.
True.
Come on, Makoto, let's head back. What? Didn't you hear me? We're leaving. I have no idea what's going on anymore.
Shall we
Don't
go?
worry about it. Let's just go. Okay. Yeah, go on. Get out of here. Shoo. Yeah, shoo. So we left and went back to our rooms. And then, so goodbye.
Goodbye.
Hold on. Listen, what was all that about just now? She woke me up, made me go to the data center, which is just so happened to be locked. And he shows up late, and we leave without checking a single thing. What was the point of all that? Don't worry about it. I figured that would be the end of our conversation, just like always, but, well then, good night.
Goodbye.
Sure. And then that was over. Wonder what she did. Yeah, he is mean. But as I turned to leave...
Mukuro Ikusaba.
Mikuro Ikusaba. What? Kyoko was next to me once again. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo! Whispering in my ears. Oh.
Mukuro Ikusaba. The 16th student, lying hidden somewhere in this school. The one they call the ultimate despair. Watch out for her.
Oh, the end of chapter 4. Bloop. Bloop. Ooh. We have still 7 students. Look at that. Ooh. And you receive the altar lumped present. Yes. Alrighty, let's see what's going to happen now.
Mukuro Ikusaba.
What?
Mukuro Ikusaba. The 16th student, lying hidden somewhere in this school. The one they call the ultimate despair. Watch out for her.
Kyoko told me to watch out for her. Mukuro Ikusaba. That was 3 days before the next incident. 3 days before we would be faced with another murder. 3 days before the worst thing so far would reveal itself. Dum 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 dum. 100-mile dash. Pain of the junk food junkie. Boom. And in the meantime, the day after Sakura's class trial, that morning in the dining hall. Let's begin with the unusual post-trial investigation. Hey, you didn't make small talk or anything. We never just get straight to the point like that. If you want to keep up with me, you must refrain from pointless small talk. Geez, how high is that horse of yours? He just acts like that to hide his own insecurities. That's what I like to think anyways. Regardless, if you want to defeat the mastermind, you need to follow my lead. They creep around the school like a mouse, but the mastermind's pride is as bloated as a cow's udder. And no matter what it takes, I will rid this world of them. Hey Toku, you've been pretty quiet. Man, you're so boring now. You just sit there like a mushroom. Going to start calling you Miss Mushroom. She didn't snap back at you. Her talking makes things difficult, so I told her not to open her mouth without permission. What? But if she can't open her mouth, she can't eat or drink water. I don't care. And you're okay with that, Toku? Jeez, how low is that rock you're hiding under? I believe this is small talk Byakuya warned us against. And yet, I let myself get involved. And now it's finished. I will never allow you to drag me down to your level again. We're going to begin our search. Stop running your mouth and start moving your legs. Pressured by the obvious irritated Byakuya, we all started our exploration. Boop, 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 boop. We're going to the 5th floor of Hope's Peak Academy. Boom, 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 boom. What are we gonna find up here? So here I am on the 5th floor of Hope Peak Academy. The 5th floor has been opened up to us, and it's totally different from all the floors we've seen up to now. For some reason it feels unpleasant. What in God's nation is happening in here? They probably were expecting me to start at 9:30, so hopefully they'll show up. I started about 6 minutes early, so I actually had it set for 9:30, but I didn't know how long traffic was going to be tonight because of being so kind of early. What the hell is this? The grotesque horror of the room struck me hard and fast. What I saw was bad enough, but what I smelled, it was sour, pungent, impossible, rank. It smells awful, doesn't it? It must be at least vaguely familiar to you. After all, you've been around your fair share of corpses. Are you saying? It's the smell of death, the flesh and fat and blood. There was no surprise in his voice, no shock. But he was right. I have experienced the smell more than once before. It was the smell of death and despair. But the smell here is strong, condensed. It's the smell of a battlefield. Monokuma must have. What? My fault again? Stop trying to blame me for everything on me. If you haven't done what you did, this never would have happened. No. It's quite the opposite. The opposite? Yep, let me give you an itty bitty edgy squeezy little hint. As far as this room goes, I don't know a thing. I just left it exactly how I found it. What? How's that for a hint? Better than those stupid hints you get from the NPCs in those mean old RPGs. But it's pretty scary, huh? Blood all over the walls and junk. And of course, even in the outside world, people die bloody, gruesome deaths every day. So it's not really a big deal. Just keep your chin up and you're a keep on living soldier. What the hell was he talking about? He just left in the way he found it. What's the meaning of all this? It appears all the mustaches dry, and their color has changed as well. I think it's safe to assume that these stains are considerably old. Is it all really blood? Of course. I wouldn't find it interesting otherwise. And as interesting, I'm sure you. What on earth happened in this classroom? I know what happened, but you'll have to wait. He seems like he's enjoying himself. No way I can keep up with something like that. I don't think I've seen everything to see here. There are white chalk outlines drawn all over the floor. How many bodies were there? I've seen this kind of thing on the detective shows and stuff like that. You always see it at the scene of a murder. I wish I could say I don't believe it. Well, good. I can leave the area. I'm not sure why it's red and not pink. It's locked. We came all this way just to be denied here. The sign on the saw says Biolab. Biolab that we're forbidden from seeing into. It kind of sounds like something's out of the old cheesy horror movie. Target seems pretty far away. Gotta say, pretty proud of my eyesight. It's quite elegant. This is what you consider elegant? I lived overseas for a long time, so this kind of Japanese style scenery is refreshing. But considering our situation, isn't it kind of out of place? There's a bunch of wooden lockers in here. The wooden lockers and keys remind me of the super old school public bath houses. It's a straw post used for sword practice. Do they use it for training here too? Ooh, nice. Osudo armor in a display is on display. Extremely Japanese and extremely nice because I got more coins. I don't think I've seen thing there is to see. Why does it keep doing it to me? What Kyoko told me yesterday. What the heck does it mean?
Mukuro Ikusaba, the 16th student, lying hidden somewhere in this school. The one they call the ultimate despair. Watch out for her.
Kyoko? I'm not going to say anything, huh? I can't say anything. Kyoko narrowed her eyes. Her gaze darted up to the surveillance camera. You understand why, right? She was trying to tell me that whatever it was important. The mastermind could find out. But how did Kyoko get her hands on information that could be that important?
So then...
We're finished here. She made it very clear that our conversation had come to an end. And just like usually, I didn't understand anything any better than before. Yes, we're gonna leave the area. They had a dojo. Somebody would have loved the dojo. Too bad they're not alive to see it. Is this a chicken coop? What's a chicken coop doing here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're just regular chickens, right? Like they don't eat people or lay bombs instead of eggs or something crazy like that. It seems safe. There's 5 chickies. Yes, we're gonna step away from chicks. Oh, you like chickens too, Makoto? Yeah, I love these little guys. They're seriously cute, right? And they're like actually 5 of them. Exactly. 5, you know. The number that comes after 4 and before 6. At least it's terms of natural numbers. Anyway, whether the number 5 pops up, that's a good omen. It contains the mysteries of the cosmos. It's a number of power, a refreshing number of your power, with hands squeezing all naturally lemonade. It never lets me get a word in edgewise. There's a funky looking antenna flower. What is this? This thing is super weird, super creepy. Flowers aren't supposed to get that big. Is this thing real? Watch out! What? That's a Monokuma flower. I came up with the name myself. Try and touch it and you're in for some real excitement. Your hearts are all like, whoa, and this plant's all like, snap, and your fishes are like, bleh, I'm dead. In other words, it's monstrosity. It's pretty freaking amazing, if I do say so myself. Well, welcome back, and hello, anything. Hello, anything. How you doing tonight? You always come sneaking in late like this. The ultimate botanists. Although they don't go here anymore, they died during the tragedy. By the way, despite how it looks, that flower is super practical. It can eat paper, plastic, and even people, so it's totally good for the environment. And such an eco-friendly creation, it's vital for the future growth of a healthy society. Not that I don't know anything about that myself, ha 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 ha. Spouting more and more nonsense. Monokuma will eventually disappear. Whatever it is, I better keep my distance. Nice. Oh, it don't. Got news for this thing, huh? I need to come back with another creepy little noise and go around and say, hmm? Hmm? Just to be sure, I should take a look into the tool shed. The tool shed. This place seems totally disorganized. From a lawnmower to fertilizer, to flower pots to farm tools. And leaning against the back wall, is that a pickaxe? It is a pickaxe. There are different kinds of tools gathered here. Are they trying to get us to become self-reliant? Huh? There's something carved in this handle of this pickaxe. Crazy diamond. I feel like I remember seeing that somewheres. Boom, 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 boom. Yes, we're going to do the tools. Do I have to get Plutia? And get Plutia on the phone and have him talk to you? Do I do? Do I need to get Plutia? There's some kind of control panels set near the wall. Does it control the air conditioning or something? It's for the sprinklers. Sprinklers? Yeah, it controls the sprinklers in the garden. The sprinklers are set to go off every morning at 7:30. Do not dare change it without my permission. Of course, the setting panel is locked, so you can't change it if you wanted to. So that means the sprinklers go off at 7:30 a.m. every morning. Yep, you got it. It's super user-friendly, which sucks. So if you get here too early, you'll get drenched. So watch yourself. But you're not a little kid, right? You're too old to go running around through sprinklers anyway. Or do you have some kind of water fetish? I'm gonna tell everyone. I don't think I've seen everything here. I'm pretty sure I saw everything here. Why is there? At first I thought I saw blue sky, but turns out they just painted the walls and the ceiling.
You know?
Oh, but the plants are for real. It's been a while since I smelled the vegetation. It helps me relax. That's not what you're thinking, is it? Huh? Why is that bad? Don't you get it? Do you realize the true horror of plant life? It's there, just beneath the surface. Beneath our calm exterior. They're always watching and waiting. And when they decide they can't leave us in charge of Earth anymore, they will put their plan for global human extinction in action. I'm serious. I guess I've seen what there is to see up here for now. But once again, nothing I found seemed to make any real sense. I need to head back to the dining hall and find out what the others turned up. One after another. Everyone made their way to the dining room hall. And before too long, it would appear as everyone has returned. But still, it's just the 6 of us. There's barely enough for a decent volleyball team. Hey, don't be a sour puss. We gotta think positive. Besides, even if one more person died, we could still fill that basketball team. That's like reverse positive thinking. Anyways, there's no time to be depressed. For the sake of everyone we lost, we have to do our best. Can we stop all this group hug nonsense? We need to find out what everyone discovered. I checked all the windows on the 5th floor, front to back. That used to kind of be Sakura's job, but anyways, no dice. There were metal plates on all the windows, just like everywhere else. Which means no chance of escape on the 5th floor either. But when I was looking around, I realized something about the layout of the school. What exactly did you notice about the layout of the school? You took a good look around the 5th floor yourself, didn't you, Makoto? Why did you ask? Because if you did, you realize the 5th floor is lacking something every other floor has. Something on every floor, but not on the 5th floor? Are you talking about stairs? There aren't any stairs leading up from the 5th floor. That's what you're talking about, right? Does that mean the 1st floor is the end? We're finally starting to get a clear picture of the school. That's all that's left now, is to solve the underlying mystery. But that's the hardest part. Even if it's hard, we still gotta do it. Yeah, Hina's right. Everything will be okay as long as we work together. I'm sure we'll make it out of this. No, not I'm sure. We absolutely will make it out. No matter what it takes. What did you find, Kyoko?
Hey,
My concern with the biolab. That was only the place on the 5th floor that we could not access. The biolab, I wonder what is in there. If there were like a glitchy horror game, it would be something kind of a creature. The final boss, a tyrant, are. But we're not in a horror game though. Either way, we do not need to worry about it at the moment. Don't bother thinking about something that can't be understood no matter how much you think about it. Your tiny brains can only do so much, so focus on utilizing them efficiently. I don't really like how you said it, but what you said is probably right. No, how I said it was right, too. Boop, 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 boop.
You know?
Well, there's a big garden up on the 5th floor, and I found more than one thing to be worried about. The stupid large plant. Monokuma said it was called a Monokuma flower. Even touching it seems dangerous, so we have to be careful. It's totally a man-eating plant. I'm pretty sure it's different from the one that lives in the pipe, though. Anyways, that thing must benefit from a sprinkler system as much as possible. Else in there. Oh yeah, apparently the sprinklers come on every morning at 7:30 on the dot. Yeah, remember that. You don't want to get drenched and catch a cold. Well, you don't have to worry. They say idiots never catch colds, you know. Of course not, because idiots never get wet. I think you're thinking of ducks. I'm starting to worry about you, Hiro. Can you tell me what 10 plus 10 is? Hey, come on. You don't always have to call me dumb. I may have been held back 3 times, but that doesn't make me stupid. But it makes you happy I answer your dumb question. So, what was the question again? Don't worry, you answered it.
You know?
The chicken coop. There are a bunch of chickens in the chicken coop, right? That's right. 5 chickens. I love chickens. Let's raise them up big and fat, and then we can make fried chicken or barbecue. Decisions. Oh, how about raw? Cause there's nothing fresher than a raw, right? I'm pretty sure that kill you.
You know?
You notice it too, huh? That pickaxe. Huh? What about the pickaxe? Well, there was a pickaxe in the tool shed. And the words Crazy Diamond have been carved into the handle. Haven't you seen that phrase somewhere before? Crazy Diamond. Yeah, that does sound kind of familiar, I think.
It's
I
true.
don't just think, I know. We definitely seen that phrase before. Huh, where? Oh, that's it. I remember. It was on Mondo's uniform, on the back of his jacket. His jacket said the same thing, right? Crazy Diamond. You're absolutely right. But why would that be on the pickaxe in the garden? Mondo must have snuck in there and done it right. But we didn't have access to the garden until today. Then maybe Mondo bought it with him when he first came here, and Monokuma confiscated it. Whatever the reason that was, stuck out to me in the tool shed. The pickaxe connected to Mondo. Well, that stuck out to me. Wasn't the pickaxe at all. But then what did? What I noticed was the lawnmower. I'm thinking maybe we can use it to call for help. How are we gonna call for help with a lawnmower? I don't know. Maybe I can use it to make crop circles or something. Yeah, that's it. I'm going to make crop circles, and we can use those to call for help. What the heck happened to you? You weren't like this in the beginning, you know. Well, back then my personality hasn't quite solidified yet. I didn't think it was possible, but I'm more disappointed in you now than I ever been. I think he got one more thing here, so. Hey, Byoka. It seems like Toka wants to say something. So why are you telling me? Because you told her to zip it, or whatever. I forgot about that. Jesus, man. I know you like torturing her, but come on. Well, Toko, if you want to envelope us with all your putrid breath, I won't stop you. You honor me, master. And don't worry, I took care of the odor problem. Seriously, you just gonna take it? Shut up, and don't interrupt me when master and me are talking. Okay, so what did you want to tell us? Well, I was in the classroom on the 5th floor, and something caught my attention. It was this. A knife? Whoa, that thing's huge. It's like Rambo size. It's a survival knife of some type. What was it doing in a classroom? How would I know? What are you going to use that knife for? You're planning to do to us? I'm not going to do anything. I just picked it up. I didn't want to leave a knife just laying around. I'd rather have it laying around than in the hands of a serial killer. Don't compare me to her. I'm nothing like her. Listen, more importantly, now that we have the knife, what are we going to do with it? We can't let Toko keep it, that's for sure. We don't know what she might do. I don't want to do anything, it's too dangerous. So what to do? Why don't you hang on to it, Makoto? Me? Yeah, I totally trust Makoto to take care of it. Then that's that. Hold on, I don't get to say. It just shows how much they trust you. You should do as they ask. Are you sure it's trust? I feel like they're using me. Okay, so here you go, Makoto. They're acting like I already said yes. Fine. I guess there's nothing I can do. I'll just keep it in my desk drawer for now. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say. Hey, Toko. Oh, do I still have bad breath? Sorry, I'm so sorry it stinks. I'm sorry, it stinks, I'm sorry. You have made a valuable discovery. Good job. Huh? The master just praised me. Hey, good for you. No. I'm dreaming. I must be dreaming. Ah, that I would ever experience such a dream. Oh, I feel so strange. So strange, or really strange, oh no. Hi, hi. Whenever I look at Toko these days, it makes me feel sad. By the way, did any of you find it? This other strange room on the 5th floor. Well, no strange. It's a massive understatement. It smelled flesh, and fat, and blood. The white outlines of the countless corpses. It was more dreadful than anything I ever encountered here so far. What the hell are you talking about? The smell itself is horrific. Far beyond normal murder scene. Every blood smells concentrated. God, I'm glad I didn't see it. I feel like I'm going to barf just hearing you describe it. But I mean, what the hell happened in that room? I can only think of one thing. A large group of people died. Right there, in the room. A bunch of people were killed and all. Stop, seriously. I'm going to throw up. I know. It kinda got cold here too. Perhaps that's what was meant by the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. Huh. You're thinking the same thing. Then my theory is that mass murder that took place in that room is the incident that's said to have happened 1 year ago. That awful scene in that room. That was a tragedy that happened 1 year ago.
In other words,
Precisely. The tragedy is another name for the genocide of the student body of Hope Peaks Academy. If that's true, then that would explain why Hope Peak was forced to close its doors. I mean, I guess that all makes sense, but it's all just so awful. Not just awful, super awful. They're right. It's beyond awful. It's a terrible, tragic, hopeless, but still, how is it not one of us have ever heard about something like that happening? Does that mean that really did cover it up? Well, I think that's all the new information we have for now. So now, what to do? Well, starting today, you're all under my command. But before we proceed, I need to figure something out. Jeez,
No way.
how cocky can you be? You're gonna bust through the ceiling if your head gets any bigger. So what is it you want to figure out? Kyoko's identity. Huh? Kyoko's identity. But Kyoko is Kyoko, right? Yes, but who is she? The rest of us have clear defined reasons for having been selected to attend Hope Peak Academy. Hina, the ultimate sewing pro. Hiro, the ultimate clairvoyant. Inibu Makoto is the ultimate lucky student. More unlucky than unlucky these days, but... So what about Kyoko? Can anyone tell me what she is? Now that you mentioned, she never told us. Well, Kyoko doesn't really like talking about herself anyways, right? Not matter of what she likes or doesn't like. This is a matter of trust. Can you trust someone who's unwilling to reveal their true identity? We need to avoid raising any more unnecessary suspicion. So Kyoko, it's time you told us. I can't. What? Why won't you tell us? I didn't say I won't. I said I can't. What do you mean?
The heck?
Because I don't remember. What? I have no memory of what I am. You have no memory? You mean Amnesia? If I thought you had sense of humor, I'd say you were joking. But this is a joke. I'm not laughing. You can't be serious right now, can you?
Very suspicious.
I knew you wouldn't believe me. That's why I didn't say anything. But it doesn't matter. Either way, the truth will make itself clear before we're done. So you'll have no intention of telling us. Then can I no longer stand by and do nothing? What are you gonna do? Torture me? Nothing so barbaric as that. I was limiting your option. I can't allow you to engage in further suspicious activities. Limit my options. Give me the room key to your room. But if she gives you her key room, she can't go to sleep in her room. She'd be breaking a school regulation. And if she doesn't want that, she'd talk. It's easy. All she has to do is tell us about herself. Just hold on. A threat like that? Fine, I understand.
That's fine.
Good. Finally, in the mood for conversation. Without saying a word, Kyoko walked up to Byakuya and held out a room key to him. You damn fool.
It can't be.
Why do you refuse to talk? Whether I want to or not, I can't. All I can do is keep telling you that. Maybe she really did lose her memory. If you're really thinking about it, it doesn't sound totally impossible. This is the worst school ever, where only the worst stuff happens, right? Amnesia would fit right in. The worst school,
However,
where only the worst things happen. Do you really mean that? Huh? Can you really be sure that life here has been fulfilled with only the worst things? What do you mean? Perhaps I said too much. Kyoka turned her back on us without a word.
Come on.
Where do you think you're going? Don't worry. I'm not going to do anything to harm any of you. Those were our last words as she left. Kyoka's last words. The dining room hall was silent. The only sound was the door opening and closing as Kyoka left the room. What's her deal?
Heck?
I think you went too far, taking her room key like that. For her, that wasn't fair enough. Or maybe she gets off on the attention. I can't believe her. Enjoying getting yelled at. You're getting noisy again, Togiko. Sorry, I can still hear you. The sound of your breathing, of your heart beating, it grates on me. Are you telling her to die? I mean, I know how you feel, but what Kyoka is gonna do now? Plus this situation. It's just like before. It's no different when everyone started accusing Sakura. I'm no different either. I still can't stop anyone. Yeah. What the hell? Why are you yelling all of a sudden? Cause look.
I mean...
It's you. How long you been standing there? I'm very, very angry. Angry at what? At the thief. Yes, that's right. I'm very sad to have to tell you there's a thief in your midst. What? My precious. They stole it. You're precious.
Your teacher had such faith in you. And this is how you repay me? With betrayal?
Reality is filled with so much hardship, isn't it? No wonder people run away into their fantasies. But what the heck is your precious? Shut up. I hope all you get stuck in a hiring freeze and die pennilessly on the streets. And he's gone. What the heck was all that about? He said something about his precious getting stolen. Does anyone have any idea what that might mean? It's likely it has something to do with Kyoko. Huh? Who else, other than her, would be willing and able to steal something from Monokumo? Did Kyoko really steal something from Monokumo? If that's true, was it? And why would she do that?
This is a school announcement. It is now 10 p.m. As such, it is officially nighttime. Soon the doors to the dining hall will be locked, and entry at that point is strictly prohibited. Okay then. Sweet dreams, everyone. Good night. Sleep tight. Don't let the bed bugs bite.
We need to get out of here.
You know?
We can talk about this tomorrow, and about Kyoko. However, after what just happened with Monokuma and Kyoko, I feel like there's something in the air. I would suggest you take extra precaution tonight. Stay in your room and do not go wandering around. Not like we do. We need you to tell us that. Well then, let's disperse. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Following his lead, each of us went back to our rooms. Oh, that's right. I need to put away that knife that I got from Toku. I think the safest place for it would be in my desk drawer. But anyways, if Kyoko really gonna be okay, she can't get to her room. What is she gonna do? Isn't there something I can do? Something I can? Ding dong. Somebody's at my door. Nah. As I open my eyes, I realize I'm falling asleep without realizing it. But more importantly, did I hear the doorbell? Kyoko, I've been waiting for you in the dressing room. See you there. Hey, wait, Kyoko. Without acknowledging me, Kyoko disappeared in the depths of the darkened hallway. I know we're not supposed to go anywhere during nighttime, but I can't just not go. Sorry for asking you to meet me like so late. I'm okay. I'm used to it. Indeed.
Correct.
Well then, let me get
So
straight
then.
to the point. It's something that you can't talk about in front of the surveillance camera, right? So that means does this have something to do with whatever it is you stole from Monokuma? Monokuma told us earlier that someone had stolen something from him. Was it you? That's right.
Indeed.
So I was right. But what did you steal? I stole this.
So,
A key. It looks like Monokuma. But looking at it, I could tell it wasn't just any key. It was a shape like Monokuma. It was probably the one key of its kind on Earth. Where did you get this? From the headmaster's room. What? You snuck into the headmaster's room? But wasn't it locked? The lock was
however,
broken. What? It was
Correct.
Sakura. She did it for us. She did. Remember what she
Indeed.
said in her note? I'm not going to lay down and die. I will fight you. So Sakura broke into the headmaster's room for us. That's right.
that's right.
So that's what we could uncover. Whatever secrets might lay hidden within. She did that for us. She violated the school regulations just to help us. She already decided to die. So her last act was to defy the rules of this place.
Indeed.
You do not like my voice? It's pretty awesome. I noticed the room was open after class trial was over yesterday. But if I just strolled in that room, Monokuma would have noticed right away, which is why I use you as a decoy. So you asked me to meet you at the data center in order to... Correct.
Correct.
I wanted you to draw Monokuma's attention. I took that opportunity to sneak into the headmaster's room, and as a result, I found this. Wow. And then what you told me about yesterday, did that come from the headmaster's room too?
Mukuro Ikusaba. The 16th student, lying hidden somewhere in this school. The one they call the ultimate despair. Watch out for her.
What, anything? You don't like my voices? You don't like my sexy voice? I'm gonna cry. I can always talk like this. I'm doing this. I'm crying. Did you find out about this Makuru Imsakabi while you were in there? I did find a file in the headmaster's room that talked about her, yes. I don't know all the details yet, but one thing I do know is that Makuru Ikusababi is dangerous. Dangerous. She may very well be the mastermind. Mastermind? But after Alter Ego said that the headmaster was probably the mastermind. No, the headmaster isn't the mastermind. I'm sure of that. What? I don't have any proof yet, but I have no doubt I'm right. Too much to make such a strong statement without proof. That's not Kyoko at all. But if it isn't the headmaster, does this mean Makuru Ikasami really could be the mastermind?
Anyway.
Alright. Good night, Weedle. Weedle, 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 Weedle the beast. Anyways, this key is one big opportunity we have been waiting to get our hands on. Now that we grasp it, we can't let it go, can we? Sure, but I mean, what is this key even lock? I do not know yet, which is why I need you to draw Monokuma's attention again while I go find out. Wait, so you're planning to sneak back in again? You can't. That's too dangerous. And you want me to draw his attention, but we don't actually know where the... No, there's just one mastermind, right? If there's more than one person watching us. But they didn't catch on last night, right? Maybe you just got lucky. Or maybe the mastermind can't monitor us and control Monokuma at the same time. Like I said, we didn't get caught last night. But as you said, maybe it was pure luck. Which is why we're going to run the experiment one more time. And if we're successful again, then what may have been a lucky guess will be a proven true. Kyoka's talk. She was calm and collect as ever. I couldn't help but just stand there and listen. If it's true that the mastermind cannot watch us and control Monokuma at the same time, then there would be a period of time where the mastermind is vulnerable. And what we need to do is find out for sure if that's actually true. And if we can exploit it. Maybe. But no matter what the reward, the risk is too high. And when I think what might happen if you fail, I don't think you need to worry about all that much after all. With minimum restriction, you're free to explore Hope Peaks Academy at your discretion. No restriction had been placed on our efforts to solve the mystery, am I wrong? Even when I took the key, I didn't break any rules as far as I can tell. But the mastermind decides to do something all the rules in the world won't matter. He could just kill you without a second thought. I see, in that case, if the plan fails, we'll still be able to prove or disprove that his philosophy. What? In a moment of crisis, will a mastermind break their own rules? I have adhered to them no matter what. In other words, we will gain something whether we will succeed or not. Now there's no reason not to do it, right? But
If you
I don't
spend
know.
all
I
your
haven't seen
time
Sorey
trying
or
to avoid
anybody
danger,
tonight. I'm
you'll
kind
never
of
move
sad.
forward.
Kyoko was here earlier. She may still be here. If you spend all your time trying to avoid danger, you'll never move forward. You know the danger. If that risk means solving the mystery, we have no choice. Am I wrong?
Hey,
At that moment, I finally realized I had never seen the slightest hint of fear or despair in Kyoko's eyes. Her gaze were firmly fixed on the mystery ahead, the enemy standing before us, and with that in view, she just smiled. I can't change how I feel, and wouldn't if I could. Then Kyoko took something from her coat pocket and handed it out to me. What is this? Consider it a
It's
symbol
true.
of my determination. Do not open it yet. Only open it if something ever happens to me. If something happens. I'm not planning on
However-
dying, but there's always a chance of it. And death without meaning is unappealing. Please, I want
Hey.
you to hold on to it for me. Fine, I'll hold on to it. Just because you asked me to. But I'm going to give it back to you at some point. You can be sure of that. Yes, of course.
indeed.
And one more
Hey.
thing. You can't tell anyone what I discover. Sure, because there's a chance the mastermind might find out, right? Well, there's that
Indeed.
too. You mean there's something else? It's nothing.
Well.
Forget I said anything. I can't just forget that easily.
So
Dan.
then,
Okay then, shall we begin? I'm counting on you,
Makoto.
I just have to get Monokuma's attention, right? Well, I'll give it my best shot. I'm going
Goodbye.
ahead. The rest is up to you. Her curt goodbye was no different from any other time. And like every other time, she moved at a brisk pace as she left. What was it like? What was it like every other time? Was that a sudden knot I felt in my stomach as I watched her walk away? No, everything's gonna be fine. I know it. Because it's Kyoko. Talking to myself helped shake off some of my anxiety. And then I got to work. Whoops. Crap. I hit the button too soon. Then moments later.
Monokuma appears!
Well, well, this is a surprise. You're being the one to call me out. Hey, by the way.
Hey!
Huh? What were you and Kyoko up to going to the bathhouse, just the two of you, in the middle of the night? Definitely a hot, steamy moment, wouldn't you say? A warm, wet, warm. I bet you guys. Removed to confirm with local and international censor laws. I forgot about that. All of her, didn't you? Ooh, I love that. Oh, not gonna talk, huh? I sure get it. Well, whatever. Unlike you, I have absolutely no interest in late night bath scenes. Because I like to maintain a healthy life of observation, far away from the X-rated exploits. Alter Ego, how you doing? I haven't seen you in a while. So, is that why there's no surveillance camera in the bathhouse? Bullseye. Or is it because the lens get all fogged up and you can't see anything anyways? Sounds like that's the bullseye to me. Anyway,
You need something?
you went all that trouble to get me out here. Now what do you want? Oh well, there's something I wanted to confirm with you.
Say what?
Whether I'm a mademoiselle or a dude fella. But in the Mirror Kingdom, there is no male or female. Actually there is. Seriously?
What?
Then what am
My
I?
entire existence.
That's enough. I get stuck if I think about it too much. So, what do you really want to ask me? Well, you told us earlier that your precious had been stolen. What's this precious of yours? Listen, I'm sure this is a silly question. No way is it possible and all, but is that seriously what you dragged me out of here for, to ask me? You gotta be kidding me. You gotta be 100 Megatron freaking kidding me. You're not gonna ask something useful like how to get the best honey or the your shine breeding tips? This is just crazy. Are you stupid teenage boys as nutty as you? God, you're so annoying. Fine, I tell you, it was a key. That's it. What was that second thing? A blank, stupid, a secret. Fill it in yourself. Making me trudge all the way out of here for that. I like to see what's going on in that brain of yours. And the next time you summon me for something so stupid, I'll open your skull and find out. Dropping more than a few swear words, Monokuma stormed off. Whew. I hope I kept him distracted long enough. Now all I can do is wait and hope Kyoko makes it out okay. No, she'll be fine. It's Kyoko after all. I'm sure she's fine, right? I went back to my room and lay down, doing my best to settle my nerves and get back to sleep. Monokuma, we can never ignore the bear.
Monokuma Theater, brought to you by Spike Toonsoft Company Limited.
That's a big bear. That's a big Monokuma. That's a big Monokuma. Suck of Revenge. The game the world has been waiting for. Unfortunately, development had been cancelled. Of course. Even though people buy Danganronpa, well, I didn't get to read all that. Who knows? So buy copies of it for you and all your friends. This super stylish, super fashionable game was cancelled during development. But it'll start back up again if Danganronpa sells well. So go out and buy Danganronpa and buy it all.
Then you guys have to recommend it to your friends too.
Good morning, everyone! It is now 7 a.m. and nighttime is officially over. Time to rise and shine! Get ready to greet another beautiful day!
My body feels so heavy this morning. It must be because I was up too late last night. Anyway, I need to get to the dining room hall. Yo, 1 minute late, Makoto. How did you explain this? Sorry, I'm not feeling so great today.
What's your problem?
You really think a tired excuse like that is going to work? Are you allowed to talk again? I don't recall giving you permission. I just thought, since a day had been passed, it had maybe reset. Sorry, please do not hate me. Whatever my punishment is, I'll accept it. I hang a sign from my neck that says bad girl. I clean your bathroom with my toothbrush. You stop making disgusting comments like that. Maybe I can forgive you. Thank you. I won't make any more disgusting comments, I promise. If I do, you can stuff my mouth full of trash. As long as it's you and no one else, I don't mind. It's no use. She's disgusting to the bone.
So,
Bye-bye, alter ego. You take care. See you around. Tell Chihiro I said hi if you see her. Anyways, where's Kyoka? I haven't seen her this morning. Not cool. This is worse than being late for lunch. For date. For your wedding. For anything. Maybe she's mad about what happened yesterday, and she's not going to show up anymore. I can't tell the others why Kyoka might not be here. The best thing to do right now is to keep quiet. Whatever her reason, I'm curious to know what she is doing. I know she's not in her room, so... Oh yeah, you still have her key, right?
what's this?
Oh, are you looking for Miss Kirigi? I can't even say her name right. What do you want to know? I'm right. You want to know where Miss Kyoka is, right? You know where she is? Well, it's hard to say. You don't know either. Because he doesn't know. That's why he's here. To try to prod us for information. Hey, don't you hate it when you ask someone what their favorite movie is and they name some indie bullcrap? I feel like I'm getting whiplash the way he changes subjects like that. So I guess our plan went off like just fine last night, which means maybe the mastermind can't monitor us and control Monokuma at the same time. Could she have been right about that? So was I right? You're looking for Miss Kyoka. Any idea where she might have gone? We have no idea. And if we did, we wouldn't tell you. For serious. I see. Fine, whatever. I don't even care anymore. Sayonara, suckers! As soon as he was gone, we all glanced around at each other. So what was that just now? Does that mean Monokuma doesn't know where she is either? It would seem that way. Where the heck could she have gone? Don't you think we all should go look for her? And how would you such reproach that task? Even Monokuma can't even locate her. Yeah, how can we not know where she is? So strange.
Yeah, totally.
Kyoka must have used that key to sneak into somewhere unknown part of the school. But somewhere even Monokuma wouldn't notice. Where could it be? Where Kyoko could have hidden. We spend the rest of breakfast talking about where Kyoko could have gone. Afterwards, we return to our rooms. Phew. Breakfast didn't help me feel any more upbeat than that, for sure. I feel like this is more than me just staying up late last night. We don't want to do free time, Darius. We don't need to. I feel even worse than I did this morning. My body feels like lead, and now I'm getting chills. This is bad. I think I might be getting sick. I have a little time, maybe I should take a rest. Yeah, let's do that. Oh, poor anything. Girl, I'm getting chills. You still got me anything. I could talk to you if you want me to. I could start reading and just talk to you if you want. I don't mind talking to you anything. I kind of feel dizzy. I can't help it. I need sleep. Nighttime wasn't just for a while, but I felt like my body has reached its limits. As I dropped onto my bed, I felt like I was falling into a bottomless pit. I was unconscious before my head hit the pillow. Well, that's not quite true. I didn't pass out completely. It was more like my conscience went dim. I waved back and forth between sleep and wakefulness, which is all to say. I was restless. No. At some point, I found myself wandering through a strange dream. And within the dream, a voice echoed across the walls of my mind.
I understand.
That voice. It was so familiar. I
understand.
It's me.
I understand. I should understand everything. My goal isn't to get out of here. It's to stay here.
Huh? What am I trying to say?
Hope. This is all for hope. And that's why I have to stay. I have to stay here. My dream just now.
I don't mind. I can sit here and talk to you all day, man. I don't have to read, man. I just do it because I figure it'd be something different. Since I haven't really read any of my commentary, any of this stuff before, I figure it'd be interesting to try it out, see how it works. And some people have been liking it, so I guess it's okay. Some people may not like it though. My dream just now. What? So strange. Huh?
Huh?
Pat.
Kyoko? What did you say?
Monokuma Theater! Every day is peaceful, even days and joyful. Happy days from the time you wake up to the time you go to sleep. Wishing all for those unchanging, unending happy days. Days of boredom, repeated forever and ever. No abnormalities at all, as the eyes can see. Life without the tiniest speck of abnormality.
If the world were like that, I'd consider that pretty damn abnormal.
I was actually doing it for Sorry because Sorry was having issue seeing the stream. But I kept doing it, and you know, people were actually liking my commentary and everything, so kind of kept going with it and thought maybe I'd just give it a shot and keep doing it throughout the whole thing.
Time to rise and shine. Get ready to greet another beautiful day.
I mean, no one's really complained about it, so I don't mind the world. Just keep doing it and see what happens. And I kind of change voices here and there and do different voices. I can do it like this. I try to do different voices anyways. I got a deep voice. I can always do it like this and go, say goodbye, 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 I see you. It takes longer than usual for me to open my eyes. Huh. But out of that breath, sign to me bring myself up to the rest of the way. The chills, the aches, the unfathomable lingerings, they all disappeared in the night. All that was left was me, drenched in sweat. It wasn't because of whatever bug I caught either. It was also the dream I had. What the hell was that? Alright, I'll stop reading. I'm not gonna read anymore. I'll let you read it. I'm gonna get Plutia tomorrow. I'm getting Plutia on the mic, and Plutia is going to affect you. No, I could continue reading if you want. Yeah, it does. It really does get deeper and deeper. The whole series itself, in general, is really deep. Kyoko was there. But what would she say have been doing in my room? What a strange dream. No, was it really a dream? How can I possibly find out either way? I open the desk drawer and... Huh? It's empty. There's nothing inside. Wait, nothing inside? That's strange. Because it definitely wasn't before. I'm positive I put that knife I got from Toko in there. Wait, that means... the knife they told me to keep safe. I knew it. I just had a feeling. It wasn't a dream after all. But if that's true, this all makes even less sense. Why would someone have wanted to attack me? And who was behind the mask? And why was Kyoko? What the hell is going on? Well, I don't think I'm gonna figure it out on my own. I should head to the dining room hall. And I can talk to everyone else about it. And with that, we're gonna take our small itty bitty break. No, we're gonna take a little break. And we'll be right back. And we're back. But I didn't get comfortable before I even sat back down, which is unfortunately. So excuse me. Alrighty. Yeah. Oh, come with it. So the dining hall room we go. Yes.
Hey, Makoto.
Yeah, Makoto. Yep, that's Makoto. Sure as the sky's blue. Hey, Hino. You really had me worried, you know. What happened to you last night? Worried. Yeah, right after nighttime hit, we all went to get you. You were hammering away at your door. We were hammering at your doorway and you never answered. We thought maybe you've been, you know, I mean, not that actually happened. I mean, nobody here wanna, you know. So anyway, what were you doing? I didn't feel good, so I went right to bed and had no idea you guys even showed up. But why did you come to get me? Did something happen? Well, a lot of stuff actually. I'm not sure I can really explain. Let's go meet up with everyone else, and then they can tell you all about it. So, is everyone waiting somewhere else or something? Oh yeah,
That's right.
we all stayed up the whole night. The whole night? I lost at rock, paper, scissors, so I had to come get breakfast for everyone. So you got here just in time. Come on, help me carry it. Okay, sure. Everyone's in the gym. Hurry up, I'll meet you there. Gym. Why is everybody in the gym? And the entire night? No. We wanna get the map. We wanna do fast travel. Yeah, let's find out the whole night. And the plot thickens. The mystery. Why was everybody up the whole night? There he is. This is worse than being late
hey,
for your
Makoto.
wedding, the birth of your son, and your own funeral all at once. Jeez, to show up now like it's no big deal. You made us stay up all night while you slept like a baby in your bed. Just like Hina said, everyone's here besides Kyoko. And then I noticed they formed a circle around something. As soon as I saw what that something was, what the? Before I could catch myself, I cried out. Spread out in front of them were the remains of a Monokuma.
What are you doing?
What does it look like? We're dismantling it to see what makes it tick.
Dismantling? But I mean, that's Monokuma you're messing with, right?
Yeah, that's right.
She's not even phased.
Hello, Kyoko. How you doing? Relax, there's no danger. You say that, but what is this? What are you guys doing? Seriously, what are you thinking? How can you tear apart something like that? Isn't it dangerous? Well, I guess I'll handle this. I'll explain what's going on, Makoto, because that's how much I like you. Bianca found this little fella laying around, and then we tore it apart. Doesn't explain everything. Doesn't explain anything.
What?
Just before we went to bed last night, I came to the gym to try to talk to Monokuma. I wanted to see if he had any new information about Kyako's disappearance. And I found him here, just like normal. However, when I found him, he was no more than a regular toy. He didn't react, didn't say a word. You're saying he wasn't moving at all? I waited there until midnight, nighttime officially began. But still, Monokuma lay there motionless. I gathered everyone up as quick as possible so they could take a look. Even then, he still didn't make a move. So I immediately initiated the disassembly process. It was master stroke of genius, a chance to find out what made Monokuma tick. One thing we discover is that he's quite a sophisticated machine. It's leagues beyond any normal remote control toy. Who has even free time to invest in something like that anyway? And besides that, what I wondered is, why did he stop moving all of a sudden? I thought maybe he malfunctioned, but we didn't find any cause as we were taking him apart. So if he didn't break down, then maybe something happened to his puppeteer, the mastermind, something unexpected. I can't imagine any possibility. Something unexpected. They were probably so scared of Master, they ran away in terror. Or maybe they got sick or something. But Monokuma made his announcement this morning, right? Who was that, if not the mastermind? Oh, I'm sure that's a recording. It's set to a timer and plays as necessary. That's true. He said the exact same thing every day, right? Hey guys, I don't think now is a good time for a light conversation.
You know?
I found something. What is it? It's what?
Huh?
A bomb. There's one installed in every Monokuma robot, I'm sure. A bomb.
What?
That's super bad. We need to get rid of it. Roger that. It appears bombs have a motion sensor. Any movement, I'm sure it'll go off. Motion sensor for serious? I'm starting to get all shaky. Hey, get it together. You're a man, aren't you? I'm fine. I'm pretty fine. You're not fine. You're Oh, I probably should have mentioned the motion sensor's off right now. Haha, geez, don't scare me like that. God, you're like the world's most spineless worm of the century. Hey, come on.
Don't be mean.
This century just got started. Don't call me out the race already. Whatever, just hurry up and put the bomb down. Hanging on to it, not going to do any good. Yeah, good call.
Well?
Okay, it's down. Everything's all good. Hero put the bomb down, but that wasn't my main concern at the point. My eyes were glued to Monokuma's remains. He just stopped moving all of a sudden. Was it really because something had happened to the mastermind that they weren't expecting? But what could that have been? When I thought about it, who does control the Monokuma? I couldn't help but think back to the night before, being attacked by the masked figure. Hey, Makoto? Huh? Don't, Did you hear a thing we just said? Huh? So that's a no. What are you? Some kind of brain-dead farm animal? Sorry. We were saying, since we're done dismantling Monokuma, what should we do now? And we decided to continue our offensive assault and try to uncover the mastermind's true identity. We're going to break into the headmaster's room. Really? Since the mastermind Master appears to have stopped all activities. Now is our chance, wouldn't you agree? But if the mastermind comes back while we're in there, if you're scared, you're welcome to stay here by yourself. Or go live in the chicken coop with all the other chickens. You can be a chicken number 6. This is a battle, a fight to the death between us and the mastermind. We don't have time to deliberate. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to have to kill each other or anyone else, but we have a chance now. So what are you going to do? Are you going to run away or are you going to fight? You're right. I'm going with you. Okay then. We're going to break into the headmaster's room. Everyone come down. Everything comes down to this moment. Anything can happen, so prepare yourself. I'll follow you anyways, master. To all the ends of the earth. Sakura, if you can hear me, lend me your strength. I can do this. I'm a man, I can do this. I got the will of the entire universe on my side. We found determination in our own ways. When we were ready, we docked the gym. Our target was the headmaster's room on the 4th floor of the school. Rattle, rattle. It's locked, as expected. So, what are you gonna do? Isn't it obvious? We're gonna tear this door off its hinges. Wait, but the rules say we've seen that the mastermind isn't watching us. Those doesn't matter anymore. But like Makoto said, if the mastermind did show up while we were in there, then we just have to finish our business before that can happen. Okay, sure, but we came this far. We can't back down now. We agreed this is what we have to do. So we have to do it. So beautiful. For serious.
I mean,
we don't have any choice. We're desperate. Let's do it. Let's rip this door down. Okay, but how we're gonna do that? This thing looks pretty sturdy. Then we need something sturdy of our own. What about that one thing? The thing in the tool shed. Oh yeah, the pipe. The pickaxe.
So then.
Interesting.
I see.
That could very well be exactly what we need. Now then, Toko, what time is it? Well, we left the gym, it was just before 9 o'clock. So it's probably 9 on the dot now.
It's all
Okay,
clear now.
go get the pickaxe and be back here by 9:01. That's straight up unreasonable. By myself? Surely, you like to have your... Surely you like to have your me time once in a while. Well, it is me and you time, master. Then yeah. You know how much time it takes you to say that? 10 seconds. Take too long and I erase your existence from my conscience. Unacceptable. With that, Toko ran off loud as a herd of rabbit elephants. But seriously though,
Hey.
are we really gonna knock this door down? No, probably. No problem is solving by running away. Find your stones and be a man. He's right. You can't move forward by always avoiding danger.
If you spend all your time trying to avoid danger, you'll never move forward.
We know that the danger, but if that risk means solving the mystery, we have no choice. Am I wrong?
Hey,
Even if it's dangerous, we have to overcome the challenge in front of us. Maybe, but I'm still super stressed. I'm so tense I can hardly talk. I'm all flabbergasted. No, I'm totally flabberstaff. Flabber sauce? Gross. Where did that come from? Wait, Genocide Jack? Jill, where did you come from? Hello, hello, it's a wondrous, murderous fiend here to greet you with a razor-sharp smile. What about the pickaxe? Where is it? I was supposed to pick an axe? No, you seeping imbecile. The pickaxe. Seeping imbecile. Oh, master, you wound me with your executive level barbs. Bushwa, here comes the bloody nose. Seriously though, did you really forget the pickaxe? Omega-3 fat acid. That's what you need. Great for that old memory factory. But I think we already established that there's a memory doesn't carry over when they switch. This is a level of uselessness I find difficult to tolerate. The light bulb just went on. That's why I went to the garden, right? I was supposed to get the pickaxe. Alright, we solved one mystery. That means there's one more mystery left. One more mystery. Yep. Now we just need to figure out the identity of Object X. Now what are you talking about? Did you already forget what we were talking about? You're like missing out on life. I'm not missing out on life. In fact, I found one in the garden. What did you find? Corpus. Did you hear me? I said corpse. A corpse. That's right. I found a corpse in the garden. You found a corpse in the garden. When then? Before we enter the headmaster room? It appears we have something else to look into. We're going to the garden. Okay. As soon as we entered the garden, I saw it. I didn't want to, but I saw someone laying on the ground with a mask covering their face, and there was a knife buried in their stomach up to the hilt. What the? Are they really dead? For sure, but who is it? Are they really dead?
Danganronpa.
Just to make sure things clear. Last night I was attacked by someone wearing a mask. And whoever that was, now they're... I don't know why, but now they're laying dead in front of me. See, I told you there was a corpse hanging out here. Are they really dead? Is this really a dead body? You need to begin looking around right away. However, be ever so careful. There's no telling what you might find. We need to find out who this actually is. But there's no way to tell with that mask covering their face like that. The whole white coat they're wearing makes it impossible to tell about the body itself. The victim is totally mystery. But one thing I do know is that whoever this is, they attacked me last night in my room. But why? How did they wind up dead in here? The heart isn't beating. They're not breathing. All signs of life have come to complete stop. Thanks to the knife that has been driven in their stomach, their clothes are stained in bright red. It appears the bleeding has stopped, but the blood there is still wet. Be careful you don't touch it and get some on you. How can we be so calm at a time like this? Isn't it their face and body all hidden? So I don't have a clue. I'm pretty sure it's a girl at least. How can you tell? Well, I think I see the outlines of the chest and just the general shape of the body. Yeah, the more I look at it, the more I'm sure it's a girl. Really? Then could it be? Okay then. Let's tear that mask clean off. Wait, don't.
Come on.
By the time he called out, it was already too late. Toko's hand shot towards the mask. In the next instant, there was a blinding light, a deafening roar. The body blew up. It blew up, 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 it blew up. My vision is starting to darken. I prepare to pass out. But then, hurry up, put out the fire. As my consciousness attempts to float away, that voice reached up and pulled it back to earth. Someone pressed something into my hands. It was a bucket of water. Come on, dump the water on it. The upper half of the body was on fire. I took aim and tossed the water as hard as I could. Sploosh! Thankful that was enough to put out the fire. It died down, leaving behind only the unpleasant smell of burning. I guess that took care of it. But what the hell, man? It exploded. I had a bad feeling about that body, but I never imagined it would explode. Now the body, it burnt to a crisp. That's beyond well done, man. Don't compare it to a steak. I'll never be able to eat steak again. But now the body's charred. I really have no idea. How are we gonna find out who it was? Who isn't here right now? Huh? If we consider who's not here, that would quickly narrow down to who it must be. The only person missing, it's Kyoko. Kyoko. Then that dead body, it's Kyoko. No, that can't be right. Calm down. I didn't say it was Kyoko. But I mean, who else? There's one other person. The mastermind. What? The mastermind? Come on, there's no way. The mastermind got charred bald. Get serious. I agree. Normally the idea wouldn't be worth considering. But I have a reason to believe it may be true. The mastermind being dead would explain the other matter, wouldn't it? Monokuma can hardly move around if the master is dead, right? But what corpse is a girl, right? But that corpse is a girl, right? Don't make any sense. I mean, remember what Alter Ego said? So the same person may very well be the mastermind who planned all this out. And according to file, the headmaster is the man in his late 30s. It seems possible, even likely, that he is somewhere in the school right now. He said the mastermind is some middle-aged dude, right? Which of course obviously isn't. Then could that mean the mastermind isn't the headmaster? It is a teenage girl Kyoko told me about? The ultimate despair? Huh? Mikuro Ikusabi, the 16th student at Hope's Peak. What are you talking about? The other day, Koyoko confided in me. She said there was a 16th student here in the school. I think you better tell us everything you know. Well, all Kyoko told me was...
Mikuro Ikusaba, the 16th student, lying hidden somewhere in this school. The one they call the ultimate despair. Watch out for her.
It sounds like Kyoko thinks Mikuro Ikusami is the mastermind. No, the headmaster is the mastermind. I'm sure of that. What? I don't have any proof yet, but I have no doubt I'm right. There's another student here, and it's a female. That would match the body's characteristics. And that phrase, the ultimate spares, it sounds super mastermindy, doesn't it? Okay, so the mastermind is a girl, Mikuru, and then she's a student here, and she's the ultimate despair. But if she's been hiding here in school like some teenage Bigfoot, how did she wind up burnt to a crisp? None of this makes any sense. To just suddenly show up and then die. You ain't seen nothing yet about plot twisting. I think we better take a closer look at the body. There may be some kind of clues to help us figure out exactly who it is. Hey, wait. What?
What?
Aren't we forgetting something, you know, Toku? Oh yeah, she got totally blowed up, huh? Forget about her. I'm sure the explosion vaporized her anywhere. Nah. Oh, she survived. Oh, she survived. Huh? What just happened, Master? You declared for the whole world to hear that you would never again inhale a single molecule of oxygen. Oh, then I don't mind breathing in the carbon dioxide you exhale. That's enough for me to live. This is the strangest back and forth I ever seen. I should take a close look at the body one more time. Watch yourself, Makoto. She may be dead, but she's still a girl. Don't worry, I don't plan on touching the body at all that much. It's not Kyoko after all. Hold on, there's something on the ground there. There's something next to the body. It's a key. It is what Kyoko took from Monokuma. What did you steal? I stole this.
So...
A key. But looking at it, I could tell it wasn't just any key. It had a shape like Monokuma. It was probably the only key in the kind of on Earth. That's right. The key she stole was shaped like Monokuma. This isn't anything like that. Then this key is... What is it? Did you find something? Yeah, this was on the ground near the body. Never seen this key before. What could it possibly go to? So even you don't know then. Monokuma, I give you a very important task. Huh? That key might give you access to certain areas we thought were locked. You mean the bio lab, the data center, the headmaster room, the door room on the second floor. It's in your hand. So I'm your errand boy now. The biolab was definitely like before. Let's give it a shot. When I inserted the key I found in the garden in the keyhole, the key isn't even close to fit, which means the key doesn't go into this room. The door to the data center was definitely locked before. Okay, let's give it a shot. When I inserted the key I found in the garden in the keyhole, click, it fits. Then this is the key to the data center. I managed to unlock the data center. I guess all that running around pays off. I have to go tell everyone. I immediately head back to the garden. So you're back. How's it going? I found out which room the key goes to. It's the data center, down on the 4th floor. That we can get into the data center now? Interesting.
I see.
But why did the now deceased have the key on them? I suppose we have to go to the data center and find out. Yeah, I think you're right. Here we are. Look like the door is still unlocked. Hey, so when you open that door, there's not going to be a huge kaboom like before, right? You're asking that question now? Don't worry. We have Makoto. What? It's in your hands.
In other words,
Again? It means I trust you. That's an absolute lie. I'm just being used. I reached out and put my hand on the door. I closed my eyes and tried to clear my mind. With a silent prayer, I slowly opened the door. Nothing happened. After making sure I was still alive, I slowly opened my eyes. In other words, the room was strange. I mean, all the rooms up to now were strange, but this room had a special kind of strangeness. It wasn't surface fear like the rest of the school. Here the fear was lurking beneath the surface. The room is filled with that kind of dread. Hey, that's... Hero extended a trembling hand and pointed. Looking at all those monitors on the walls. Looking what they're showing. Each monitor display a different section of the school. The dorms, the classroom, every part of the school was covered. This is the direct feed from every single surveillance camera. All the cameras in the school feed back into this room, and they're displaying here on this monitor. So the sole purpose of this room is to watch us. To watch us. Then this room is the Mastermind's private room, without a doubt. The Mastermind's room. I guess that makes sense. So the Mastermind was here. Watching us. Then I think this settles it. Huh? The body in the garden. If they had the key to this room, it can only mean one thing. That was the body of Makura Ikusabi, and she was the Mastermind. Then the Mastermind is dead? Like really, really dead? It would seem so. For serious? For cereal? It's too bad they had to go and die before Master could kill them himself. The Mastermind is dead. Could they really be true? Does that mean it's all over? Because I mean that body. Whatever happened, they obviously didn't die a natural death. So who was it? So who was it? So who was it that? Oh. Yes, he did. But if that Mastermind really is dead, that means we can finally get out of this hellhole. We gotta hurry up and find the exit. Come on. No, we have to check this area thoroughly first. But what about the exit? If the Mastermind is truly dead, we can leave whenever we decide to. But right now, we need to find out why the Mastermind set all this up. This life or death game in the first place. And I'm bothered by the fact that the Mastermind was obviously murdered. Murdered. So you think so too, huh? Naturally.
naturally.
The state of the corpse makes it plain as day. There was there's absolutely no doubt. The Mastermind was murdered. Why is it got to be that way? I mean, who could have done it? Exactly why I said we need to investigate the purpose and identity of the Mastermind. Now, do you understand, your useless insects? You're banned from talking to Master ever again. The Mastermind's purpose. Why they were killed. This room may very well hold the answer to those questions. And after all that, Mastermind must have spent who knows how much time here. Okay then, let's begin our search. It's time to uncover the identity of the Mastermind. The door is kind of creepy. It's got a picture of Monokuma on it. What could be inside? Rattle, rattle, rattle. It's no luck. The door is locked, huh? What if you use a key on that opens this door? Let's give it a try, just in case. Nope, no good. It won't even fit in the keyhole. Oh. Well, don't worry about it. Everything's fine. The Mastermind's dead, right? So nothing's gonna happen to us. Yeah, I guess you're right. Can't stop thinking about the door with Monokuma's picture on it. But don't worry about it. Isn't going to do me any good. Hina's right. The Mastermind's gone, so there's nothing to be afraid of anymore. There's a bunch of computers all lined up. They look like high-performance PCs. Nothing like an ancient laptop Alter Ego was installed on. They're all on. They seem to be locked. So what? We can't do anything. Just use your fighting spirit to force your way in. What century are you from? The Mastermind have been using these monitors, the network, and Alter Ego. You may well be right about that, but there's no point in thinking about it now. You're right. Nothing showing up on this one. Hey, look, next to that TV. Isn't that TV antenna? It is. Just like the one my grandma used. It's totally one of those high-def antennas. Wait, so if we hook up that antenna, we could watch TV? Huh? Did someone say TV? Well, Saturday morning, Hina's here. Are you talking about me? Anyways, if we can watch TV, let's do it. Come on, come on. You're all starved for info from the outside world, huh? Alright, let's work my magic and you'll be in quantum leap your way to TV land before you know it. I mean, I get the reference, but he's talking about...
Okay.
Give me some time, okay? I gotta make sure we can drive spaceship Earth safely. I think what you're trying to say, but I also think I have no idea. So you think you can fix the TV? A little longer. You really want to watch the TV that bad? I know, Saturday morning kid here. There's really a ridiculous number of monitors here. The Mastermind's been using them all to spy on us. As long as I have this, huh? Look at Master go. It's like a feast for the eyes. How much monthly membership? Huh? Oh, what's wrong? Good news for all you Saturday morning kiddies out there. I think I got the TV working. Really? Now we got to do is switch it on. Then do it.
What?
Freaking idiot, Mastermind. All you guys needed to cut free from your regrets of the outside world. And they were sitting here watching TV the whole time. They really thought they could get away with it? This is... It's the feed coming from the surveillance camera monitoring this room, isn't it? That's weird.
Heck?
Hey, what are you doing? That's really weird, huh? You're weird. Weird in every way possible, and not just weird, super weird. But this TV isn't hooked up to anything but the antenna. So how is it showing the camera feed? Did you try changing the channel? Good idea. I give that a try. Hero went through each channel one by one. But on every channel, it was just us. There's a live feed of us standing there in the data center. What the heck?
The heck?
Is it broken or something? No,
Could it
there must be some kind of trick to it. Something weird setup. A trick? What kind of trick? I'm not sure, but...
Actually,
Huh? Huh?
Hmm?
What?
Huh?
What?
what?
What? Ah, been a while, you freaking bastards. Monokuma. Ha, you're supposed to be dead. Got me dead? Don't be freaking stupid. Hey, you're acting kind of strange. Something seems different. Of course I'm different. Evolution is perfect naturally. After all, I've been hibernating for 2 years already. Not even. It's been like a half a day at most. How are you alive again? Oh yeah, that's pew-hoo-hoo. The looks of your face right now is sublime. That's what I wanted to see the moment you went from hope to despair. Don't tell me you pretended to be dead all this for this moment. Why would a bear pretend to be dead? You're the ones who were pretending to be dead when you see a bear. I mean, that's totally laughable. It makes me laugh. I'm gonna laugh now.
Well now.
And that's that. Well, it's almost time to cut off your past so full of hope and begin to despair at the future ahead of you. I want you all to have way more fun in this killing game. Can't be serious. We have to keep going? No way. We're supposed to get out of here. Get out of here? Are you still obsessed with getting out of here? How do you not get it? There's no getting out of here. And besides, this life isn't all bad, you know. I mean, there's stuff you won't like about life no matter where you are. Are you serious? This place is the worst. If it's the worst, does that mean you're in despair? Well, I pooped from all that laugh. I guess I'll get to the point of now. The point. You guys really struck gold when you found that TV. Yes, indeed. That TV is an essential part of your school life here. I knew it was hidden a secret of some kind. But I connected the antenna, but why is it just showing us the surveillance feed? Look how attentive they all are now. Well then, I'm gonna let you on in a bloody gushing secret and tell you about it. The TV is absolutely, without no doubt, displaying the signal coming in on the antenna. Huh? But what does that mean? It's displaying a signal? But it's just us standing here. You're so stupid, don't you get it? Fine, I'll just tell you. This killing game is being broadcast live to the entire world. It's the most popular thing on TV. What? This killing game is being broadcast live to the entire world. It's the most popular thing on TV. It doesn't matter how many times you say it. I don't know what it's supposed to mean. I mean, even if I understand the words, I'm not sure I understand the deeper meaning. What? Broadcast live to the entire world? What kind of bad joke is this? It can't be. Have they taken over the airwaves somehow? The camera feed is being broadcast. No way, that's impossible. That kind of overconfidence is a major weakness in your crisis management systems, you know that? All you need is one weird trick that I found, and hijack the airways is easy mode. Are you being serious right now? Of course.
Of course.
I heard a kind of creaking, but the sound was coming from my own mind. Like a boat tossing in the ocean, my mind had begun to creak and groan. Everything has a meaning, you know. And all those hints I gave you, all those tantalizing tidbits about the school mystery, even me luring you here right now. Why would I do all that stuff without a reason? It's all for the captive audience, to show them the true despair like they never seen it before. I became the director of Despair Base Production. This is the ultimate reality show, the best in despair entertainment. You're lying. If this was on TV, the police and everyone else would be going crazy. Yeah, there's no way they would have tried to come and rescue us. What if they already did? But then again, it's not really any of their business, right? Sure, some people might yell at their TV to try and warn you, but who would actually come here to help? Do you think that's possible? I don't really know, personally though, so whatever. But to take control of all communications like that, you need an astronomical amount of resources. Yep, so how could things have come this far? Well, that's a secret. There's something you all need to do first, remember? What? Well, yeah, there's a little business of... Dong, ding, dong.
A body has been discovered. After a certain amount of time, which you may use however you like, the class trial will begin.
Huh? Class trial? Do you mean... I'll leave the next Monokuma Fall right here. Everyone, give it all you got, okay? Okay, things are going to be pretty crazy from here on out. You're in for a heck of a ride. I can't
wait! I can't wait!
And then he was gone. Reality was incomprehensible. The truth hopelessly out of reach. All we were left with was despair. We stood there for I don't know how long, but frozen in place. I couldn't think. It took everything I had to just keep myself standing upright. I don't understand any of this. What despair entertainment? And how is he still alive? I thought they finally, we could get out of here. And plus, what did he say about a class trial? Well, that's the part obvious. The class trial is the class trial. Which means is that at this point we had to figure out who the culprit is. Figure out who killed Kyokyo? What? What are you talking about? I thought Mercury Sumi was the one who died. The victim was female, right? Kyoko certainly fulfills that condition. And if Monokuma is still alive and active, that means the mastermind Mercury Sumi isn't dead. So naturally that body couldn't belong to her. So it must be Kyokyo. There's no other possibility. The body is Kyokyo? Kyokyo been murdered? No, it's not possible. Because I know anything about her yet. I don't even know who she really is. To have it in like this? I don't believe it. I refuse to believe it. Whether you believe it or not, doesn't matter. The truth is the truth. If you refuse to believe, your responsibility to uncover the truth for yourself. Myself. Anyways, we better hurry, better begin. But if we're going to have a class trial, then that means the killer. Correct.
That's right.
It must be someone participating in our school life. Wait, so you're saying one of us killed Kyokyo? Well, that's precisely what I'm saying. No. Huh? But you said... I don't have time to explain now. There's a portable amount of issues I need to confirm. So I'm going to begin my search. If you value your life, you put everything you have into this. This is how this game works, after all. Investigation time. Well, I better start by checking out the Monokuma file. Due to the explosion, the victim's identity is unknown. They were, however, dead before the blast. The victim has been stabbed in a single time with a knife, which went completely through the body. Though they have been struck in the head with an object about as thick as a metal pipe. The body was covered with other wounds, but these were at least several days old. Even Monokuma doesn't tell us who the victim actually was. The identity body. Could it really be Kyokyo? Or I have no choice. I have to investigate. I have to uncover the truth for myself. No matter what, I have to find out what happened, or we're all dead. I need to go back to the scene of the crime, back to the garden. Okay, time to get started. I need to check anywhere that may be important from one end to the other. I need to do what I always do. The knife laying on the ground. Is this? Must be the knife that was stuck in the body before we exploded. So the explosion must have thrown it all over here. Monokuma probably said the knife went all the way through the body, from front to back. Does that mean the knife, it was the cause of the fatal injury? Either way, this knife, it looks very familiar. Wait, is this? That's it. This is not that person was holding. This is getting really weird. There are just too many strange coincidences. Whoever the person in the mask was that attacked me last night, they were holding that knife. And the same knife was used to stab the same masked attacker we found here. So maybe this masked person got stabbed because when they attacked, I was kind of in a trance. Maybe I reacted by grabbing the knife, and then maybe if this really is Kyokyo, it would mean Kyokyo is the one that attacked me. But why the mask? I just don't know. I don't remember anything clearly from last night. No, it can't be. There's no way. It looks like a fragment of something. They're all burnt, so I can't really be sure, but I feel like I've seen something like this before. But where? Wait, was it there? I'll have to double check that later. I'll check the body more thoroughly. Maybe then I'll find out for sure if it's Kyoko or not. Huh? There's something weird about the body's fingernails. Oh, these are fake nails. They're really long. They seem like they get in the way of a normal activity. Fake nails. There's also something on the back of her hand. Is this a tattoo? Got burnt, so I can't make out the whole thing, but it looks like a picture of a dog or something. Never seen anything like that before. White jacket the victim was wearing got totally burnt up. There's only one little piece left. The lava half the body didn't get wet at all. After the body blew up, the top half got set on fire, so I dumped a bucket of water on it, which explains why the bottom half isn't wet. There's something strange about that, right? I don't think I've seen everything yet. The upper half of the body got set on fire, An explosion, so it's totally blackened. Also, the top half of the body is wet. Just because it got set on fire and I threw water on it. Since I threw water on part of that was on fire and the top half, the bottom half is still dry. In other words, there's nothing strange about the top half being wet. There isn't, right? I remember there were some chickens in the chicken coop. I count 4. 4. What's going on, Makoto? I'm glad you're here. Listen, do you remember how many chickens there were in here? Of course, there was precisely 5. Yeah, you're right. Oh, what's wrong? There's only 4 chickens here now. We're 1 short. Huh? That's so weird. I wonder where it disappeared. I was down here just before night time last night. And there was definitely 5 chickens then. What are we going to do? Going from 5 to 4 is going to have to impact on the structure of the world.
Conspiracy!
Alright. It's like a jigsaw puzzle. Even a single piece disappears, the entire world will remain infinite. I did my best to ignore Hero and focus on the problem at hand. Why did one of the chickens disappear? Could it be related to the case? This is the panel that controls the sprinkler. Earth cells at 7:30, and Monokuma says time possibly couldn't be changed. Hold on. The sprinklers turn on at 7:30 each morning, right? Then if body was here before then, the sprinklers would have gotten it wet, which means the murder must have taken place. Sprinkler. Just to be sure, I should take a look at the tool plate. The room is dusty and disorganized. In other words, it's a pretty stereotypical picture. Is that a tarp? Wait, was there a tarp in here before? I should probably look into that. Could be related to the case. The top is wet, covered with mud and grime. But the underside is totally clean and completely dry. One side of the tarp is wet and dry. The other, something about that bothers me. That's one thing in here that concerns me. There's something sharp in the handle. Crazy diamond. Same thing was written on the back of Moto's. That'd be intriguing, but now that's not the time to think worry about it.
What the heck?
I'm back and I brought popcorn and duck pea. You didn't bring me no popcorn or duck pea? Yeah, like I said, do not touch it. to avoid getting all bloody. But for how much blood there was on the body, I didn't see any on the ground around it. Wow, thanks. That was a big help. Now that you explained it, I totally remember how it looked. We'll have to talk about it like that. Helped me remember it a lot better, too. So thank you, too. Body before the explosion. Good timing, Cole. I want to talk to you. Talk? What do you want to talk about? I'd like to hear your alibi. Alibi. Correct. A little bit here from where you were after nighttime began last night. I was sick, so I was asleep all night. But why are you asking about that now? And what's nighttime got to do with it? It's obvious. The murder took place after midnight. How can you know that for sure? Because after this midnight began, I came to the garden. I was going around looking for everyone so I could tell them about the Monokuma. Hiro's been spending most of his time in the garden last few days, so I figured he'd be here. And I could confirm that when I arrived last night, there was nobody here. So the murder could have taken place at some point during the nighttime after I left the garden. However, Toko, Hiro, Hina, and I were all in the gym together the entire night last night. What? Once I found Hiro in the garden, we immediately went to Toko and Hina's room to get them. At that point, we all went to the gym and began dismantling Monokuma. As precaution, we made sure not to go anywhere alone. We went to the bathroom in pairs. In other words, all four of us have airtight alibis. The only one who doesn't have an alibi are me and Kyoko. And if the victim really is Kyoko, then I'm the only one without an alibi. Also, we went to get Hina and Toku. We stopped by your room as well. But you never came to the door, so where precisely were you? I'm telling you the truth, I was in my room, but I was dead asleep. I had a fever, so that's hardly an alibi. I know. So what now? You seem to be at quite the disadvantage here. I'm the only one without an alibi. That's really bad, isn't it?
Okay.
In other words, that's right.
It's 11 o'clock right now. Okay, and well, I was just thinking about when we first found the body. When the body was found, huh? I should be look back at what time, what I did this morning to help me remember when that was. Monokuma announced woke up at 7 o'clock. As usual, I heard from the dining room pretty soon. Once I got there, I met with Hina. That was right around 7:30. Then I headed to the gym where everyone else was waiting. Next, Toku went to get the pickaxe, and that's when she found the body. What time was it then? Now then, Toko, what time is it? Well then, we left the gym. It was just before 9 o'clock. It's probably 9 on the dot now. That's right. It had to have been right around 9 o'clock. Now that you mention, I think you're right. So I think we can say for sure the body was found at 9 a.m. Okay, that's my job done. That's a pretty small job. I think I checked everything I need to do in this area. I'm not done yet. The other areas I need to check. Specifically that fragment I found before. there's somewhere I need to go in order to confirm my suspicions. And I need to go find out more about Kyoko. Is that Kyoko? And was that also Kyoko who attacked me last night? If I could find out more about her, maybe I could answer that question. Kyoko was never the kind of person to talk about herself all that much. Maybe if I can get into her room, I'll be able to find out more. But the key to her room, I will simply remove your. Okay, blah 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 blah.
Just give up.
I don't have a choice. I have to see if he'll let me in her key room. Did not want to go there. Hey, Brandon. You're way late, Brandon. You done missed the murder. Murder. Thrills, chills, and heart-throbbing. Hey, Byakuya. If you do come up with an alibi, I'd be happy to hear it later at the class trial. Oh no, it's not about that. You have the key to Kyoko's room, right? I was hoping I could borrow it. I'm afraid I can't take that risk. You're the prime suspect after all. Of course, if I were to go with you, that would be a different story. Then will you go with me? Sorry, I have my own agenda to take care of. Find me later again when you see me. Depending on my mood, I may go with you, or I may not. Back later, huh? Okay, then, meanwhile, I'll go somewhere else. Maybe I should check out that, one area. No. We don't know anything right at the moment. We'll have to find out. The body is disfigured. Yeah, the body got blowed up, so we don't know if it's Kyoko or not. Monokuma lays this mantle on the floor, but I figured it wouldn't be here. I just found something. What is it? It's what? A bomb. There's one installed in every Monokuma robot, I'm sure. A bomb. And the bomb went missing. There's no doubt about that. The fragment I found in the garden. Okay, I checked everywhere else I could think of. All that's left now is Kyoko's room. I should head back to the garden and ask Byakuya. You think we could go soon, Byakuya? You want to check out Kyoko's room right now? Very well. Let's go. Wait for me. Byakuya walks off without second place, and I glance. Hurry after him on our way to the dorms. Kinda like the bus anyway. Well then, here we go. Byakuya took out the key and slid into the keyhole and then click. And it's open. Looks like it. Thanks. So this is Kyoko's room. there's something on the table. It's a wooden block decoration. What's that? What purpose does it serve? I think it's probably a key. The lockers at those really traditional public bathhouse use them in the lockers. I wouldn't know. I never go to a public bathhouse. That doesn't really surprise me. It's hard to picture Byakuya doing something like that. But if it's a key, I think I might know what it unlocks. Really, what? Unless I'm mistaken. I'm pretty sure I saw something in the dojo that might go to the dojo. Wooden block key. Here's our bed. I don't see anything interesting, at least not as far as the case is concerned. Here's the bathroom. Some have certain articles hanging out to dry, but they're not look inside. You want to come here, right? So what is it you're looking for? Nothing in particular, I just thought we might find some kind of clues here. A clue that might help us understand Kyokia. You can't be serious. That's why you made me take time out to search to come here? Sorry. Regardless, if you plan on poking around at random, you're doomed no matter how much time you take. Surely you have something more concrete, something to give us some sort of direction here. More concrete? Oh, I know. What's this? Consider it a symbol of my determination. Do not open it yet. Only open it if something ever happens to me. I'm sure I have it here somewhere. Found it. What's in the envelope? Kyoko gave it to me and said if something ever happened I should open it. Well, something has certain happened, so open it. Okay. Open the envelope and looked inside. Inside was a single piece of paper under the sheet. That's all that was in there? Yeah, it looks that right. Under the sheet, what could it be? Could something be hidden underneath the bed sheets? Part of me didn't expect to find anything, but as I lifted up the sheets, what's this? I found a crumbled up piece of paper. Class number 78, student registry. Mikuru Ikisazabi. It appears to be Mikuru Ikisazabi's profile. Yeah, it looks like it. That's probably the other thing Coco stole when she snuck into the headmaster's room along with the key. God, you're so annoying fun. I tell you, it was a key and a... That's it. That must be the blink that Monokuma was talking about. Coco said a death without meaning was unappealing, and this is what she left behind. I don't have time for your simple indulgence. Hurry up and finish your search. Okay. I made an effort to pull myself together and then look down at the profile sheet. Female. The ultimate soldier. Small for her age, she was a military specialist trained in every weapon type imaginable. She showed interest in the military from childhood and soon found herself completely absorbed in it. In elementary school, she won a survival game tournament and began writing for military magazines. Just before entering middle school, while she and her family were on vacation in Europe, she disappeared. The story of a young Japanese girl being kidnapped quickly took over Japanese media outlets. An intense international investigation turned out no information. She was never found. However, she reappeared in Japan 3 years later, alone and completely unannounced. She revealed that she had joined the mercenary group known as the Führer for those 3 years. She insists that she hasn't been kidnapped, that she received battle training of her own violation. However, she never revealed why she decided to return home when she did. the ultimate soldier, a mercenary group. That doesn't feel real. The whole world grew up in, it was like a completely different dimension. It's like one non-fiction to another is sci-fi. There's no way to even compare the two. That's how different this is. That's how I was seeing it, saw things. Just an ordinary person, but then I never imagined I would hear the name for her in a place like this. You recognize it? The Brenner Group Corps. It's a collection of battle-crazed warmongers. But they do have their uses, and they always get their jobs done. They're worth remembering. This is a part of the world totally removed from the one I lived in. I have to say, I'm intrigued. Every rumor I heard says the forever has already. Whoa, I feel like our hero is becoming a bit player. A bit player is becoming our hero. And it's you. Huh? What have you got your pretty little hands on there? Oh, you found her profile. So what if we did? Don't freak out on me. I'm not gonna hold it against you or anything. And in case you're wondering, don't hold it against Kyoka either. Even though she stole it and hid it. After all, there's no rule against stealing, is there? And who I can't forgive is Miss Agami, who broke the rules and busted into the headmaster's room. Maybe I'd drag her corpse out and slice it up and devour it. Bear omnivores, you know. Our rules by isolation really so unforgivable. You're quite admirable about those regulations of yours. Of course I am. A proper school life is built on education and organization in order. Which is why even I, as a school headmaster, have to follow the regulations myself. So you're saying you have to follow your own rules as well? Absolutely. I can't have you complain about how unfair it is and all. Now, can I? In fact, on the subject of fairness, we would like to know something interesting. Interesting? It's about the one who's writing all these rules. They're actually one of the participants in this killing game. I don't think I ever actually told you how many participants there actually were, did I? I was thinking I should probably clarify that.
Hey,
When all you first got together in the main hall back then, there were 15 people there, right? I think the first meeting may have led to a little misunderstanding among you all. A misunderstanding? Are you saying that's right?
in other words,
There weren't actually 15 of you. The total number of students taking part in this killing game was actually 16. 16 then.
Mukuro Ikusaba, the 16th student, lying hidden somewhere in this school. The one they call the ultimate despair. Watch out for her.
The 16th student, Mukuro Ikusabi. She's part of the school life. She's the one making all the regulations is... Why? Did you say something? Why are you telling us this? Well, because, like I told you, the killing game is desperately popular. You wouldn't believe me. You wouldn't believe the ratings. And since we got so many viewers now, I want to make sure everyone was on the same page. I don't want to wake up to a hurricane of complaints and hate mail, you know. Makes sense?
yes, indeed.
Okay, that's all you get for now. Oh, actually, I do have some revenge to get, so I have to extra bonus for you. Revenge. I want to get back at that sneaky-less Kaoka. So I'm going to share a little secret with you. Seriously. You know, she wears those stupid gloves day in and day out all the time. Well, don't tell anyone I told you, but She wears them to cover a bunch of hideous scars that doesn't want anyone to see. What? Yoo-hoo. Okay, that's all you get. Kyoko wears those gloves to cover a bunch of scars. Wait, so on the back of her hand, the tattoo? But wait, no. Monica said they were scarred, right? That's why Kyoko wears those gloves, to hide the scars, which means the fake nails on the corpse. Are you thinking about Kyoko again? Kyoko? Huh? Forget about it. What matters now is to uncover Monokuma's trap. His trap. God must have really hate you to make you so dull. He said there was a 16th student, right? Which means Mikuro was a student here. Obviously, Monokuma was trying to tell us that Mikuro is the one creating the rules to the game. Well, why would he tell us that, and why now? He said he wanted to make sure clear, so there wouldn't be any complaints later. But the mere fact that he said that proves that Mikuro is connected to this case. That's why Monokuma revealed the existence of a 16th student. He needs to make sure our investigation is fair. Mikuro is related to this case. Perhaps she's the one who killed Kyoko. What? That would explain why we would have to have a class trial, wouldn't it? If she's a student and she kills someone, that would make her part of the school killing game. Mikuro is the killer. She killed Kyoko. Anyone should be able to come to that conclusion, don't you think? In fact, that's exactly what I thought when the investigation first began. But based on what Monokuma just told us, I changed my mind. Mikuro
It's all clear now.
isn't the culprit. Huh? What makes you say that? That Mikuro, the ultimate bearer, was the true mastermind. But if that's true, Monokuma's behavior makes no sense. Why would the mastermind go out of the way to reveal himself to us? That's a good point. Mikuro would give us information that would raise questions about her. Would be bold, to say the least. It makes more sense than to assume that Mikuro isn't the culprit. So that's the trap. They want to suspect Mikuro and come up with the wrong conclusion. That's what makes sense to me. The way you say it's definitely posed seems impossible. But is it really true? If Mikuro isn't the killer, then who is? Well then, I believe our work here is finished. Let's move on. I'm sure there's other places in need of investigation. To find out if that key and the dojo are really connected. Well, are you coming? There are wooden lockers here. They would use wooden block keys, like at those super traditional public bathhouses. It looks like the key we found in Kyoko's room really does go to one of these lockers. Makoto, do you see the locker farthest to the right? That's the only one that doesn't have a key in it at the moment. You understand what that means, right? I should probably use the key to be found on the that locker. Well, just try it. Okay. I took the wooden block key and inserted it in the locker's metal lock and click. The locker eagerly accepted the key and it opened. There are arrows in here, and it looks like 10 arrows in total. They look like they're made of titanium, which means they're quite strong, despite how thin they are. Of course, without a bow, there's nothing but strong little sticks. Strong sticks. And there's something else inside the locker. Wadded up ball of duct tape. I wonder what this was used for. Is that blood stain? If it is, that means it must surely be related to the case. The spectators related to the case somehow, but how could it possibly be involved? I think that's all for the locker. That's the office for now. Is something wrong? Very odd, don't you think?
Strange.
The locker was hidden items that were clearly related to the case. And how did the key to the locker room wind up in the victim's room? Or perhaps...
Why?
Yeah. Forget it. Come on. We need to continue our next location. What next location? There's still something we need to look into. We need to do more research on the Finnerers. Finnerers. You mean the mercenary group that Makura was part of? But how are we supposed to find out about that? Isn't it obvious? Where in the school would you go to do research or something? Research? Are you talking about the archive? That's right. The archive has all kinds of info that generally the public doesn't have access to. We only have so much time before the trial begins. Let's hurry. I believe there was a file related to the Furs somewhere in here. Backer seemed to know the archive like the back of his hand. He went straight to the shelves in the back. Ah, here we go. He quickly returned the file in hand. Take a look at this.
I see.
I have no idea what it says. What language is this? How did you make it all the way to high school without learning a single word of French? I'm pretty sure most high schoolers can't speak French. Well, whatever. I'll read it to you, but I expect you to repay your debt 100 times over. 100 times? Isn't that kind of extreme? The Fur is an elite fighting group based out of the Middle East. Unlike military contractors, they are a fierce group of soldiers who engage in direct combat. They claim that a single member is equivalent to an entire company of regular soldiers. Just like a Fur, the Wolf of Ragnarok, their mere presence is enough to strike fear into any enemy. They have been involved with countless military battles and operations, most of which are highly classified. However, some time ago they completely ceased all activities. At present, their continued existence cannot be confirmed. There are unconfirmed reports that the key members of the group were all neutralized. Rumor indicates they were killed to keep them from revealing the many state secrets they acquired. Somehow I believe there was mounting internal tensions within the group, and they simply imploded. I can't even look and talk right now. What is it? This is all sounds like some kind of alternate reality. Well, it isn't. This is our reality. The only reality. These people are part of our world. Their battlefields aren't much different from our life here. Unpredictable and unimaginable world. That's what makes it all exciting. Exciting definitely isn't the word I would use. So, did anything jump out at you? This may be your last opportunity to learn about the Furs, now that you mention it. Fort said something about where the name Furs came from, right? That right. It says Fur is the Wolf of Ragnarok. Speaking of which, would you like to know something interesting related to that? To show that there are members of the team, each soldier that joins the squad, they would have a tattoo representing Fur somewhere on their body. They got a tattoo of Fur. Could that mean? Dong, ding, dong.
Time is utterly silent, and yet it constantly assaults us, organisms, the earth, natural phenomena. It damages us little by little until the end. You should really think about that. Anyway, it's time to begin the class trial. So, please meet up in the usual spot. See you later.
And then the time has come. All we can do now is to uncover the truth during the class trial. It would seem that way. Let's go. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we are at the class trial, but the stream is coming to an end. So with that, we'll see you later. We're at the class trial, but the stream is coming to an end. So with that, good night and sweet dreams. Don't let the bed bugs bite. And like always, be a gamer and play the game.